speaking on a lot of time going by, we're approaching a very important anniversary this upcoming Saturday in the hip hop and rap genre space,
Mm.
and that being for the release of Kanye West's debut album, The College Dropout. In general, I would say, Rob, that was like one of the most impactful albums on my life. I'm 8 going on 9 at the time. It was one of the first albums I bought with my own money. Went up to the store, like, hey, bro, let me get that. And this is like a huge shift in rap culture at the time because throughout the late 80s to early 2000s, you have more gangster rap dominating the mainstream atmosphere between, like, you got NWA that transitions to like um, early to like mid Pac, Big as well. DMX and Jay dominated the late '90s. Of course, like you have your Eminem, who was like the peak of it, but just within this centralized rap culture, those guys, and then you transition into 50, and then you get this guy who's wearing polo sweaters and these colorful pants and rocking ties and stuff, and it was like who's this weirdo backpack rapper, but he created a space and a lane for guys, and like now you from that you get these offspring guys who I'm not gonna say like they're his sons, but it creates a lane for a Kid Cudi, for a J. Cole, for a Drake, who you had guys like Common who were in the game before Ye, but typically those guys weren't the men in rap, and this is the first time we actually see that. So let me ask you this, bro.
But before we do that, we got a fact.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Drew.
I'm sorry. I do not have a mic. I'm also sorry for interrupting.
No, you good.
The most scored game was on February 2nd, 2021 against the Magic. Or
That gotta be a team. All right, go ahead. My bad, no, cut you off.
4 points.
Who the fuck did that?
Yeah, and I guess Fred Van Fleet
Wow,
Oh,
Freddie V.
What the fuck?
is the highest scoring Raptors player
Ain't
Freddie
that-
V.
and also dropped the most points in that game.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's nasty as hell.
Freddie V.
And that's it for 2 different sides.
Hey,
Yeah, no, I slick remember that, but that's nasty as hell.
hey, fact check can be like, hey, you can't correct me. I got the facts.
That's nasty. That's hey, real.
You could plug. Y'all could plug one in.
But back to our conversation now, bro. Let me kick it back to you because you were a little bit older than me when the album dropped. Can you remember, first hearing it? I guess my question would be, what were your thoughts on the album then, and like 20 years removed now, like how do you feel about the project now?
One, I think I just want to really start things off by just saying that when it comes to like music reviews and things like that, I'm just a consumer. Like, I take no moral. Like, I'm up here, I have all these great takes. I just want to talk about music as I consume.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want to leave that to the other people. I know you're in that lane. That's why I love having you on the show, because we get to talk about music, but I'm just a consumer of the music I enjoy. And I think the best place for me just to even start with this album is how I got introduced to Kanye. And this was one of the albums that I got introduced to, but it was like more in like Lucy form. Like, you got the slow jams, you got the interludes, you were like, slave shits, where it's kind of like, all right. And then like finally sitting down to like listen to it from cover to cover, where it's kind of like, I just remember my first time hearing a Kanye West song, like at one of my, friends at that time place, and we were playing Pokemon Stadium, and it's Through the Wire, and we were like, hey, did you hear about Kanye car accident? I'm like, cool. And it's just kind of like, even Through the Wire, even though it's just kind of like, I felt that we're like, I'll say this, and I'll end with this. I think as a musical artist, people can feel timeless music. Like, when he filmed that, like we were there with him.
Yeah.
So I just felt that through the waves of how it was burned on the CD from LimeWire.
Yeah. And it's crazy too, bro, how, certain music and just like with art in general, it kind of creates a timestamp within our lives. Like, I remember exactly where I was when I bought that CD for the first time, and like, going through it and hearing like spaceships to, All Falls Down, Through the Wire, and Jesus Walks. And these are some songs that I literally cannot write this story of rap without mentioning some of these tracks. And it's just crazy to me how, like, even like 20 years removed, the music still sounds timeless and doesn't sound too dated. Whereas, like, if I pull up some, and there's no disrespect to them, but like, You're a Jerk by the New Boys. Like, that sounds like, all right, this sounds like some 2008 shit. Whereas, you're stupid.
I'm sorry.
But like, I could play All Falls Down now in a club, and like people will still rock to, or like slow jams. Actually, that's actually a better example. It still is gonna get.
They don't play it enough.
Probably right, but it still resonates with folks. And he could, like, if he felt like touring just that album this summer, I'm buying a ticket. I know damn well plenty of people will as well.
Not to go too much of a side tangent, but like, I think if he, okay, I'm not gonna do.
Don't do what I think you're gonna do, but I'm not gonna cut you off.
Please cut me off. I would say if he stuck to that.
It's not possible.
I know it's not possible, but I think if he stuck to that, I think that would help mend a lot of the stuff that's going on with him. We're like today, and this, I heard about this today, how he can't get in any arena besides, United Nations. We're still
the United Center.
United Center, yeah, because no one else wants to deal with the Kanye shit.
I don't know about that, I wouldn't be surprised if he had a strained relationship with the Mercedes Dome in Atlanta, because how that whole ordeal happened when he was like playing Donda, and like I think he was might have been living there. Don't quote me on that.
I think it was,
but it's still I don't know. I'll look into a report with you later, but even if it's like if it's not a full on stadium, but just like an arena size, people are still gonna come out. So at the end of the day, to your point. In terms of like, him going back into that pocket, that's something that I try not to do with artists, because I wouldn't ask you to go back to being the 10 or 10-year-old Rob I met when we were kids, because he's like, just with that analogy, he's in a different space in his life between, getting married, getting divorced, getting remarried, having kids. And I'm not going to say like the grind isn't there, but like just the vantage point of like how you live, the stuff you purchase, and everything else has changed, along with just, the landscape and the soundscape of music is completely different. Like, you really don't hear people and sampling soul records like that heavy. Like, what's the last album you heard where you heard as many skits throughout the project as you did on that? And I actually, years removed now, I kind of hate hearing the skits, and even when I have it in my Apple Music library, I delete them just because I feel like, all right, why is D. Ray Davis talking for a minute and a half, bro? Like, let's get to the next song.
I'm actually gonna give you some pushback, and not about the skits, but more or less about the changing piece, where it's kind of like, when I think about Kanye as the person, right? Because I want to do my best to like. I gotta stop saying that. I want to do my best to stay on the music. Yeah. Where it's kind of hard because what he's been doing takes away from that, where it's almost to the sense of we have to separate
the music from the man.
Exactly. Yeah. Where like for me, I've helped so many people, but at the same time, not to use the Dave Chappelle thing when he was like, all right, he saves a lot of people, but he, grapes, that whole Dave Chappelle joke where it's kind of like, wow, I guess I'm saying that when it is. So it's just tough where what I really want to say is not to be long winded is when I'm saying to go back to that is the care. He, in my opinion, has a warped version of caring when he was putting that together. Because now I want to wrap in the skits. The skits, one skit that was very powerful that stayed with me is like the degrees. We're like, oh, now I have all these degrees. We're like, I'm not getting those in Donda. I'm not getting those, or like that realness of the situation that's going on in our culture, because he started off trying to move our culture. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I can get that, but also this is like my canvas and what I want to paint at this certain setting, because like while that's real, I'm speaking when I say I'm speaking as if I'm Ye. I could say that's real to you, but me making a record like Real Friends, that like was my actual situations I'm dealing with my cousin, strained relationships with other people around me where I feel like they're changing up on me, and that can be just as real to me as speaking on some of the other stuff.
Do not disagree at all. It's just when you decide to become a hero, you have to look at life differently. All I'm saying is we have LeBron has standards different from an Evan Fournier.
Now, did I decide to become a hero, or did I decide to become an artist and y'all made me a hero?
Ooh, now that,
because I'm that old Barkley ad. I am not a role model.
I respect. Lots of people get on KD, but when KD said I'm not a leader, my expectations for him shifted. Where I'm like, all right, I'm not going to associate the things to him, but we are cooking him. We're cooking him because he's not taking over. But once again, we're not. I don't want to go too far, but I agree with I like. That's why not TNT. What do you call it?
Inside the NBA.
That's why Inside the NBA is so fun, because we're getting the real of like how the dudes in the locker room should be reacting, mixed in with age, wisdom, where we're talking about a maturing, right? Ooh, I love it. Okay. So like when Inside the NBA started, like young, they were wild. We loved it. Even with them maturing, timeless time sitting learning about basketball, and it still all makes sense when we look at the body of work of what he's done. Even though things have changed for Ernie and all of them, but it's still the core of them there, and I think that is what the part that's missing.
I feel you. Just to like tie this up a little bit and then get back to the music, I'll say this though. The part I do struggle with in terms of like Ye, where I definitely see how you or like other people could say that, based off the music he put out, he kind of stepped into a space of being a leader or, a hero in Black culture. Ye to me is very sporadic in his thought process. When people say like, oh, Ye's changed, he's always been kind of a microcosm of what he is now. It's just, to me, he has a larger platform. Like the guy who is spazzing and ranting in 2018, 2017, that's the same nigga that went up at the VMAs and said, I can't remember, don't quote me on it, but he basically said Taylor Swift stole Beyonce's award for Single Ladies, and then also went to the Grammys after his first year dropping the album and said, everybody's worried what I was gonna do if I didn't win album of the year. I guess we'll never know. Like it's the same dude. Subject matter just changed a little bit because he started getting around Christian Louboutin and all these different designers, and that's a different language that I can't speak. But back to the music though. Let me ask you this: in terms of his discography, where would you say College Dropout ranks?
Top three.
Top three behind or around what?
Dark Twisted Fantasy, number one, and then I Like Graduation.
That's crazy. Well, it's not crazy, but I understand it. See, to me, bro, it's tricky because this is a very nostalgic project for me. I'd probably have it top 4 or 5. To me, Late Registration is his best project.
I could have them mixed up. Is Late Registration? Does that one have I Wonder on it?
No, that's Graduation.
Okay, so I am right. Okay, yeah. Okay, bet. I know my shit. Okay, yeah. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. No. But yeah, Late Registration would probably be his best project to me personally. It has a good balance of stuff that's like commercially appealing. To me, honestly, probably his best writing on that album. And it feels as though like it's a more mature version of the College Dropout thematically. College Dropout though is a very, very elite project. Like to me, honestly, outside it, like taking it a little bit in a larger scope outside of Ye, I would say it's probably like a top 10 debut album in rap history. And the only ones I for sure have over it would probably be Doggy Style, Get Rich or Die Trying, Ready to Die, Reasonable Doubt, and then depending on what day you ask me, the documentary by Game. But it's probably like a toss up between one or two with those. But it's like flirting in that top 5, top 6. But it's definitely one of them ones. And you know, like to say like 20 years removed, he's just left a legacy of great music. Like you can't write the story of fuck rap. You can't write the story of music without mentioning Kanye West. So you know, kudos to you for everything you've done and contribute to the culture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I just think of what people will continually say now because we literally have grown up with his kids, and now I'm just curious what his kids are gonna think. But like, you know, that's just, I think just trying our best, people removing the things he said, but what he literally just said is without some of what Kanye has done, we wouldn't have some of the music that we like literally like enjoy. He's inspired so many people too, you know.
Facts. Like I said, like between like Cole, Big Sean, Drake, Wale, like every backpack rapper you could think of, like they all do in some respects and need to, if they don't, tip their cap to Ye for knocking that door down. And you know, I know this don't have nothing to do with College Dropout, but when he went head up with 50 with that rollout for Graduation versus Curtis, there was a lot of people who didn't think he could hold his own. Granted, he did sell like 800K first week with late registration, but you know, 50 was that guy at that time. And you have like this juxtaposition of this gangster rapper who, you know, he has his own video game, has his movie, been shot, has his street credibility, whereas, you know, I'm just this, I'm not gonna say nerd, but you know, I'm just, you know,
no, he was a nerd.
Yeah, he was like he was a nerd who liked art and stuff from Southside Chicago.
Literally exposed us to like anime like early on, and like was cool about it. Yes, he's been a part of the, like he has shaped so much of culture. Like you got to give it to him on that.
Facts. But no, once again, thank you, Ye, for everything you did and continue to do, and just, you know, hopefully you could shore some things up in your personal life, not to get in your business. I will say this before we close this part out.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna hold you. I think if Tupac lives another 20 years, this is close to what he looks like.
Talking about discography?
No, like as far as his personal life.
Oh yeah, what Jada was spinning probably got a Costco sample. Yeah, I kind of see that. Yeah,
just cause like I'm not a huge Gemini person. I mean, I'm not a huge Zodiac person, but they like kind of mirror each other with like certain characteristic traits, like just the sporadic behavior, like being prone to violence at certain times, or not even violence, but just like aggressive behavior. Like I know you probably remember that iconic scene where Pac's in the middle of the street and he has that Detroit Red Wings jersey on, and he ends up spitting on the cameraman. Like doing that in 2024, you're cooked.
Done.
Yeah.
And then spitting on somebody's kind of weak.
Yeah. Thing is, like, unfortunately, you know, God rest his dead. He died at 25, so we don't get to see like what the next 20 years are for him. Whereas with Ye, we're seeing everything played out in real time, and this is in a state of social media where, you know, everybody got no respect, but like one needs to record everything.
Yeah. I guess I also want to share that same sentiment too as well when it comes to him. Yeah, like people are just waiting for people to just like fail and implode. Where like, you know, sometimes you gotta wish the best for certain people, and like for him, like we just gotta hope that he gets better for not just for the music. I think I was listening to one of my podcasts I listened to, shout out the Flagrant podcast, and had Russ on there. And I was listening to a little bit of Russ and how like the music industry like changes.
Yeah, he still make music. I ain't heard his name in a while. I'm not being funny. Like I'm being like,
I don't even know, but like, but when it comes to like Russ, right, where he was just talking about how the music industry like changes people and the influence of like him just even saying, and this is off what I was watching on the podcast, Future doesn't even drink lean. Like he's doing that because it sells. Yeah. And I'm like, maybe.
The thing is with that, and it definitely does change people. And I'm sure people you could test this. The thing with Future with that thing specifically, I'm pretty sure he may sip. It's just the frequency that you might get listening to his music. There's no way you could be a fully functioning human being and sip and pop pills as much as like people may perceive he does.
Wait. Can we get a close up and look in the camera? Say that for people.
There's no way possible that you could sip lean. Oh, bro, come on. Bro, what's up with y'all, man? Like, is today somebody's Friday? Like, what y'all on, bro?
I'm so sorry for the people who can't see this.
Bro,
pause.
Bro, that was crazy. But back to what I was saying, though. Based off of the perception that people may get listening to Future's music, there's no way you could sip lean and pop pills as much as people may think he does and record as much music as he does at that high of a frequency with the quality he does.
Thank you. And it's just literally that
Bro, like
Did
I
I tell you?
I need a raise. I
swear
to God, I need a raise.
Did I tell you? And
did you not get a raise from that?
Hell no. Whoa. Hey, yo.
Whoa. We're going there. You looked at the Drake shit, didn't you?
Fast forward. Kick it back to Rob off some music stuff.
Do you have any more?
I don't have anything.
You have any more?
Yeah.
Yes,
actually, no, I'll say this.
Yeah.
One last thing with the Ye album. If there was a few things I could change about it 20 years removed, I'll cut some of them skits. New workout plan. Gotta go. I don't know what he was thinking making that shit. Last Call is entirely too long. It's like a 15-minute song. Trim that down. I love it, but you gotta trim it down some. And then I can't remember. I don't know why. I had the track list in my head, like track by track. The first song with Most Def on it, cut that.
Wow. Okay.
It's kind of funny timing just because everything that.
Yeah.
I'm not an OVO angel, but.
OVO angel.
Oh, yeah. No, I've heard that before.
Okay.
Niggas be trying to call me OVO tag.
Ew. Yeah. That's no.
Yeah, like nah.
You gotta take that lunch money when they say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. I'm actually just gonna just say this too as well. I wouldn't change anything. For me personally, because once again, musically, I'm just gonna stay in my lane. Because I appreciate you encouraging, like, all right, you were just like, just everyone be reminded of the album. And I spent today, I spent yesterday and today just like really like getting into it. I would say get rid of like a couple of the skits in the beginning. I think that was D-Ray. But like the skit that really stuck out to me was the Degrees. Okay. And that really is like you talking about that timeless stuff. Yeah. I really don't think that was such a gem because I know so many people who talk about degrees this, and it's kind of like you're gonna die with that. That's it. Like live your life. Where like we get so caught up in this rat race, and that's why I kind of like love the album because like it touched on so many different things. Where I'm like I wouldn't want to change too much, except for a couple skits.
You like New Workout Plan?
Yeah.
So you could do without it then.
It's whatever.
So it could go.
It's whatever.
It could go.
It's cool, bro. It's fine.
It could go, bro.
It's fine.
You want working out?
Stop it. I don't need you singing that. Okay. Noted. At this time, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna do a quick commercial